Hello, future officers. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Another day, another topic that we would be decoding today, and the topic for today that we are decoding is EPIRB and SART. Very important survival tools, has nothing to do with navigation, but more for survival purpose. But before we start off, let me quote George Bernard Shaw, who once said that don't wait for opportunities, but rather create it. So instead of sitting idle and waiting for the opportunity, why not just stand up and work towards creating more such opportunities? With this, let us start off with what EPIRB and SART is. You can see the diagram. This is SART, and this is what EPIRB looks like. Okay, just starting off by telling about what EPIRB and SART is, let us see what they actually are. They are actually very important critical life-saving equipment. As you can see, it is critical life-saving equipment, and yes, both of them are doing the same job, but the way they operate is totally different. EPIRB operates with the satellite, but the SART operates with the radar. This is more of satellite type of equipment. This is more of a radar type of an equipment. This EPIRB, when gets activated, sends signal to the satellite, but whereas this is getting activated only when it comes into contact with the X-band radar. You can see. So this is a radar-based equipment. It transmits ship position globally. This is globally and this is locally. Okay, and this is auto activated or it is activated manually, and this has to be activated manually, and we'll see more of these things. So why these things are mandatory? Because according to SOLAS chapter 3 and chapter 4, this is a mandatory requirement for every ship to carry EPIRB and SOLAS, EPIRB and SART. You can see chapter 3 and 4 mandates EPIRB and SART on all vessels, and they have some sort of advantages. They don't work on ships electrical power. Okay, so even if there's no electrical power, these things will still operate. Okay. Second thing is that they don't work on ships radio signals. They have their own radio signals, so they don't have to. SART does not even have a radio signal. It transmits only if it is being interrogated or intersected by an X-band radar, and the EPIRB works on a different radio signal. The third thing is they can be used in case of rapid abandonment. All you have to do is if there is no time to use the VHF, MFHF, the ship is going down really fast, all you have to do is take these two equipment and jump into any of the life raft or lifeboat, okay, survival craft in short. And last is precise location. In EPIRB, it will give a precise location if it has a GPS fitted into it. But if it has no GPS, so the EPIRB through Doppler shift will give an exact position up to 3 miles. Up to 3 miles it will give an exact position. But the SART, whereas SART once gets interrogated, it will keep giving its position. Okay, nowadays this is also known as AIS SART, which is Automatic Identification System SART, which works a bit differently with the conventional SART that we have. So we'll start off with EPIRB. What is EPIRB? EPIRB is Emergency Position Indicating Radio Beacon. What is this? EPIRB is basically nothing but an alerting equipment to search and rescue authorities about any sort of distress or emergencies at sea. It alerts the search and rescue authorities in case, for example, if the vessel is collided and it is going down, if there is fire on board, and what all things can happen on board ships. So with the help of EPIRB, we can alert the authorities. It's not that the ship has to sink, that is when EPIRB will get activated. You can also activate EPIRB even when there's danger like fire on board and it is out of control. At that point as well, you can activate the EPIRB on board. So this is actually an alerting system. There are two types of alerting system I would like to tell you. One is the primary alerting system, one is the secondary alerting system. Primary and secondary alerting system. Under primary, these alerting systems are used when there's some sort of distress, and the initial action of sending distress alert will be through primary system. It could be VHF, it could be MFHF, it could be SAT-C. So with that, you will send initial distressing. So what primary is, from the word itself you'll understand that primary means the first action of alerting shore authorities or the search and rescue authorities is through these primary system, and it includes, as I said, VHF, MFHF, SAT-C. Okay, so we'll use these primary alerting system. What secondary alerting system is? What secondary alerting system is? In case there is not much of time, the vessel is going down, or there's too much of fire and you have to abandon ship and your ship cannot be saved anymore. So in that case, you don't have time to pick up the handset and call Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. In case you don't have this much of time, you can alert these search and rescue authorities through secondary distress alerting. So now if I have made myself very clear what is primary distress alerting, what is secondary distress alerting, you can very well you can very well come to conclusion that this EPIRB is a secondary means of alerting these shore authorities or the search and rescue authorities. Because if there is some sort of emergency, we will not run to EPIRB and activate it. We'll initially give distress signal through our VHF and MFHF and SAT-C. But if in case we don't have much of time, we need to abandon the ship as soon as possible, we'll use EPIRB to alert the shore authority. So this comes under primary alerting or secondary alerting. Okay, so I hope you understood this. EPIRB broadcasts worldwide ship in distress at this exact position. Okay, it tells the position. Radio distress beacon transmitting vessel position via satellite to rescue coordination center. Yes, primary function is automatic distress with GPS coordinate. This is in case only if the EPIRB has GPS fitted into it. And EPIRB with GPS is called GPIRB. And EPIRB with GPS fitted into it is called GPIRB. Okay, and also I would like to tell you that EPIRB generally operates on three types of satellite, three types of EPIRB we can see. One operates on COSPAS SARSAT. This particular satellite is a collective work of US, Russia, Canada and France. So on this case the EPIRB works at 1406 megahertz. This is COSPAS SARSAT. The other satellite that EPIRB works on, and this is globally in anywhere you can use this particular satellite. The second satellite that I would like to talk about is SART-E. So this particular satellite is used in sea area 1, 2, 3, not in sea area 4. Okay, this is sea area 1, 2, 3, and then there is VHF channel 70, which is in case of sea area 1. So this is widely used EPIRB, but these two are not used to such extent, and you would only study about these things. So yes, also one more thing about EPIRB is every EPIRB will have a unique identification code. You'll have this casing. If I show you in this diagram, you'll have this casing. You can see there would be a casing outside, like over here. If you can see, not over here. There's a casing outside where the unique identification number, unique identification digits will be given for each type of ship, and that those unique, that is called as UID, unique identification digit, is a 15-digit alphanumeric code. What alphanumeric means? Alphanumeric means it will contain numbers as well as it will contain alphabets. So you can see alpha is alphabet, numeric is number. So every ship will have its own. So it plays an important role in identification, easy identification of which ship and also where is the location. With modern technology, what I have studied about EPIRB, with modern technology, with the help of this, you can the shore authorities, yeah, search and rescue authorities can also know about what type of emergencies is there on board ship. Like for VHF and MFHF, we can tell what type of emergencies do we have on board ship. But initially, EPIRB did not have this facility. But now with GPS EPIRB, we can also talk about what type of emergencies the authority would come to know through GPIRB, that is the GPS EPIRB, that what type of emergencies are there on board ship. Is there on board ship? So this is, I've talked a lot about EPIRB. Now let's talk about how EPIRB works, how EPIRB operates. So it is very simple that either the EPIRB activates automatically. So when it activates, it will send a signal at 406 megahertz, 406 megahertz frequency to the COSPA SARSAT satellite. So if you can see, the EPIRB is activated, it will send a signal at 406 megahertz to COSPA SARSAT satellite. Okay, so once the COSPA SARSAT satellite receives the signal, okay, this signal is then transmitted to local user terminal, that is known as the LUT. That is known as the LUT. The signal is sent to the local user terminal, which then sends the signal to mission control center. Which then sends the signal to mission control center, and then this mission control center will decode the position of the vessel or the ship in distress. Okay, will decode the signal, this particular area, they will decode the signal and the position of the ship in distress. And now once they have decoded the position, with the rescue coordination center, there is RCC, they'll send the rescue or search and rescue party to that particular position. Now the rescue coordination center dispatch assistance. Okay, so rescue coordination center will dispatch assistance. There is also known as MRCC. There is Marine Rescue Coordination Center. They'll also go and search for the distress vessel. Whichever vessel is in distress, these party will go and search for them. Now once they have dispatched they are going toward the particular location. Now they need to know exact position. So where this EPIRB comes into play, then the EPIRB again sends homing signal to that particular particular rescue party at 1 to 1.5 megahertz. 1 to 1.5 megahertz. So this particular signal will now guide the incoming search and rescue party towards the position, guide the final approach to survivors. Okay, so this is basically how EPIRB works. First, distress signal is activated, goes to COSPA SARSAT, and then it goes to local user terminal, and from local user terminal it is gone to Marine Coordination Center. Marine Coordination Center decodes the position of the ship or the distress vessel, and with now they have the position, they send the position, and now they know which ship it is. Now they send the position to the RCC, that is the Rescue Coordination Center, and from there rescue coordination, the Rescue Coordination Center sends assistance in case of MRCC from like the Marine Rescue Coordination Center and also RCC. They go, and at the end, when the place where the EPIRB is activated, the EPIRB will give the homing signal at 1 to 1.5 megahertz. It sends at 406 the outgoing signal, distress signal, alerting signal, and for attracting people that okay, I am over here, that is 1 to 1.5 megahertz. Now as I said, the EPIRB with GPS gives exact latitude and longitude transmitted immediately. So the GPS will give you exact latitude and longitude because of the GPS fitted into it. But the one without GPS, how do we calculate the position? That is done by the Doppler shift. If you might have studied about Doppler law in sound, that is the same principle which they use for calculating the position calculating the position of the distress vessel without GPS. If I have to tell you that the GPS, the global positioning system, calculates the speed of the vessel also through Doppler law. So it is a very important law that one has to study. So this is how EPIRB operates. Now the EPIRB is of two types. Okay, the EPIRB is of two types. One is the float free EPIRB and other is the manual activation EPIRB. Float free EPIRB is nothing, as you can get it from the word, from the term itself, that as and when the vessel sinks to a depth of 1.5 to 4 meters, the HRU activates, cuts the link, the EPIRB comes up to the surface, and it automatically activates and sends the distress alert. So this is the float free EPIRB. And okay, also you can see, you might see some of the coding over here. So UID, the UID of that particular EPIRB will be mentioned over here. So most common type, mounted in hydrostatic release unit, as I said, HRU, auto releases at 4 to 5 meter depth and floats and activates automatically. I had explained you. So when the ship goes down, links cuts off by the HRU, comes up, activates. Unlike this has to be operated manually. So manual EPIRB is crew activated type, requires manual removal from the bracket. This is the bracket. So it has to be removed manually, activated by the crew members, used when time permits. Now looking at this, you might think that this is an old type of EPIRB and this is a new type of EPIRB, but I would like to tell you this is not the case. This is a new type of EPIRB. Reason being, when even this type of EPIRB, even when a slight amount of water used to get in touch with this particular EPIRB, it used to get activated. So with this, a false alert used to go to shore authorities. So because of such conditions, there had to be EPIRB which has such condition. EPIRB has to be brought into place where the automation has to be removed and manual activation has to be brought into play. So this is why manual EPIRB was brought into action. This was basically done in Australia and New Zealand first. Now where all the EPIRB location, it is anywhere depending on your ship. It could be in open deck areas, bridge wing exterior. Mostly you will find in bridge wing exterior. Whichever vessels I have sailed on, bridge wing exterior is the place you will find the EPIRB. Accommodation, top deck and aft deck position. So these I have not seen in any of these three areas. Mostly it is on the bridge wing exterior. You can see this is also bridge wing. This is also bridge wing. Okay, you can find it out. This is the MOB buoy. Not buoy, but MOB light. So when to activate EPIRB? When do you activate EPIRB? When the vessel is sinking, that time you will activate EPIRB. When master gives an order, abandon ship, that now we cannot save the vessel, that time you activate the EPIRB. Grave danger, vessel sinking is also a type of grave danger, but grave danger also includes fire on board ship. As I said, EPIRB is not only when the ship is sinking, but also when there is a danger like flooding or fire on board ship. That time you will activate EPIRB, not when pirates are on board. When pirates are on board, you will activate SSAS, Ship Security Alert System, not EPIRB. And communication failure. So all other distress systems inoperative, so you will activate EPIRB. So false activation triggers massive SRA operation and results in several legal penalties. Okay, so if you just want to play with it, so be ready. If you have a lot of money, you can do. Also, you will be put behind bars if you are playing with EPIRB. So now we are done with the EPIRB. Now let's talk about SART. What is SART? SART is Search and Rescue Transponder. Okay, it only activates when an X-band radar intercepts the Search and Rescue Transponder. As you can see, there is something written as AIS SART. AIS SART. Oh, let me change the color. As you can see, there is something written as AIS SART. We'll talk about this as well. But before that, let us understand what a SART is. EPIRB is a satellite-based system, but SART is not a satellite-based system. SART is a radar-based system. It works only when it is intercepted by radar. So it is generally working on batteries. Okay, and there's a requirement for SART that a vessel from 300 GRT to 500 GRT has to have one SART. This is one requirement. And a vessel more than 500 GRT has to carry 2 SART. You will find this SART fixed on the bridge doors leading to the bridge wing, right? So you will find these SART. So what the SART does is it helps in locating the survival craft, may it be life raft, may it be lifeboat. It helps in locating the survival craft. So not only on rescue radar, yes, on the rescue radar, but on ship's radar as well. In case a vessel has activated, has placed its SART on the highest point on the canopy of the life raft, or the highest point on the lifeboat. A vessel going through that en routing that position can still intercept. So once they know about this SART, they can go and rescue them. So how will they know about which of these is the SART? So once your vessel comes into the range of 8 nautical miles to where SART was activated, your vessel, if this is a radar, this is your position. If your vessel has intercepted with a SART, your vessel will start depicting 12 blips like this. I have not made 12, I have made 6, but your vessel will start depicting 12 blips like this. As in when you move closer to it, these 12 blips will start becoming concentric circle like this. Yes, like this. Arc, like concentric arc like this. And once you are 1 nautical mile, when the distance between this survival craft and you is 1 nautical mile, is when this will become a complete circle. A complete circle. So this is how you will identify this is a SART. Okay, there is someone who is out at danger, is in life raft or survival craft. So the purpose is radar responder helping rescue vessel locate survival craft using X-bar radar. Yes, S-bar radar cannot detect these transponder, SAR transponder, but the X-band radar is, because it operates on 9 GHz frequency. 9 GHz frequency, on which are which is obviously intercepted by our X-band radar, which also operates on this frequency. Key advantage: turns small life raft into large visible radar targets for searching aircraft and ships. So this is what it is. It is very useful. How SART works? As I said, radar transmission. Rescue vessel transmits X-band 9 GHz radar signal. Now, for example, if I am in the life raft, I have to talk about my position. I have activated my SART. So it will not immediately start transmitting. Once it gets intercepted by an X-band radar, it will start intercepting, giving out signal. It will start transmitting on 9 GHz. Okay. So once the SART detection, SART receives incoming radar pulses automatically. Yes. Response signal transmit, amplified, reply back to source. Now considering that this is the radar screen, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you see it will start aligning like this. So long range, line of dots appears on the radar screen. For example, if this is too long, the length, if the distance between your and survival craft is too long, 12 dots will appear. Medium range dots form arc pattern like this. Yes, as I said. And then once you are at 1 nautical mile range, this will become an entire circle. Okay. And there is also requirement that the SART should, if it is on standby mode, if it is not transmitting, it should operate for at least 96 hours. And if the SART is in operational mode, that is, it is transmitting, so it should operate for at least 8 hours. Okay, and also now, as I said, I was talking about AIS SART. With the modern technology, what AIS SART has done, AIS is automatic identification system. What AIS has done is, it also now, with the signal to the rescue craft, it also gives the position, exact position of the survival craft. So this is the difference between AIS SART and the conventional SART that we use. This is more useful because it also gives the exact position of the survival craft, okay, which makes it easier for us to find. So with this, we now know what SART and EPIRB is. Okay, if you have any sort of doubt, please do mention in the comment box. But before I end, I would like to mention Decoded package, which has been launched by Merchant Navy Decoded, which is generally for cadets who are doing their BSc and their companies are coming for placement drives. This package, if you go through this package, will help you to perform better in the interview, okay, and will give you a better understanding, because this package contains onboard videos, okay, and classroom experiences of ROR, because it is very important for you to perform very well in terms of ROR in the interview. And this particular package is also useful for cadets who have completed their pre-C, may it be DNS, may it be BSc. They can use this package for making themselves technically very strong and aware on things, how it operates. So please go on merchantnavydecoded.com and take trial of this package, Decoded package, and find out how good it is. So this is all, and this is our social media handle, Decoded, Decoded. So all of these, please do follow us. The PDF of this PPT will be shared in this group. We post daily quizzes and fun facts in this particular group. So till we see you next time, have a good day ahead.